He's a Muslim man and he risked his life in order to save other people's lives. You know, I don't follow any of the stuff boys. So the Hanukkahs and all that doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to me, bro. I don't follow any of it. Okay? So I'm completely got a different opinion about the whole thing. It was a Muslim man that came forward and tackled him down and saved other people's lives. An incredible fucking person. You know, an old man. None of those people that watched, man, none of those people that filmed anything, did anything. They never stepped forward. They all ran. They ran. You know. So no, brother. I think you got a lot to hold your head up high, even though it's going to be put back onto your lap. It's going to be very tough for you boys now. It's going to be full on new laws, new things, it's going to be on a whole new ball game now. They're going to come out with a whole new bunch of new laws, okay, that have already been written. Those laws would have already been written, brothers and sisters. Don't forget that. And also remember who they take their intelligence from. I want you to investigate where they get their intelligence from, because they're blaming IRAN. That's who they're blaming. Why? Because they need to go to war. They need to go to war, you understand? So they need some kind of huge event that happens in order to drive the Western thing to go to war. This will drag America into it. This will drag Australia into it. It'll be a full-on, blame that country. You watch. In the next couple of weeks, they'll turn it all on that one country, and they'll say it's all from there, it's their fault, rah, rah. Listen, Muslim people on TikTok, streamers, you need to be proud. I know, right? But it was one of your guys, one of your fucking, that actually stood up and went forward and took care of business. It was one of yours. So don't fucking, mate, hold your head up high, mate, because without him, there would have been more victims, more injuries, and more fucking done. Okay? Because none of the Aussies stepped up, did they, boys? None of the Aussies did. Okay, they all come up afterwards, man. They all come up afterwards. You see the after thing where the cops swarmed them and tried to arrest everybody that's fucking on the bridge, man. Fucking everybody gets arrested, right? But mate, what a hero. What an absolute fucking legend, mate. Hero. Total fucking hero that Muslim man is. So I know that I'm Lord Dobby, and I know that I say a lot of shit on my channel, but facts are facts and truth is truth, bro. That bloke's a fucking hero. A hero. Okay? So they can try and turn it around in the next few weeks, which is what they want to do. Oh, by the way, I mentioned their information because it comes from the Lowry Institute. Everything they're going to propaganda you with, their census is from the Lowry Institute. Look it up. Look up who owns Lowry Institute. Look up who he is. And that's where all of your information's coming out. You know, this is who did it, this is who didn't do it, rah, rah, rah. Okay? So it's all going to be fully propagandized now. It is going to be blown up out of the water. It's going to be like the next best, they're already calling it the worst thing in Australian history since rah, rah, rah. So they're really going to really build it up and build it up and build it up. And that makes the public want a target. You see, they've got to have someone to blame. And that's the bigger game. You've got a small picture and you've got a big picture. And you've got to keep your eye on the bigger picture. Because in a couple of months' time, mate, you won't believe what these people have planned. Okay? And I was sitting back and I was thinking, I was watching all the videos, all the TV thing and looking at, man, what a fucking hero. You know, what a hero. You know, we all seen him run forward, we all seen him grab him, we all seen him throw, and this is an old man. We seen cop cars driving past with the sirens going, bros. We seen young men running up and down the bridge, mate, too afraid to go up the bridge because the guy's got a bing. Didn't bother the old man. Didn't bother the old man, bro. He was a fucking hero, mate. He needs a cape. He needs a fucking Superman uniform on. He's an absolute hero. Okay, that Muslim man, a hero. And you guys on here, your streamers and that, you need to really remember that. You need to glorify that person. Okay, because that was true heroism. Risked his life to save others, while the guy is binging. He's in the actual doing it. And the guy runs up and fucking tackles him and takes him down, takes the weapon off him, aims the weapon at him, and I swear, God, I'm screaming at the TV, fucking just boom him, mate. But see, under Australian law, he would get charged. He'd get charged, brother, under Australian law. Isn't that a joke? Don't you find that absolutely ludicrous? That if he actually fired on the gunman and did him with his own gun, he would be the one that goes to jail. He'd be the one that gets charged. Me, I don't know how he kept his adrenaline down. I don't know how he kept in such good control. And the lady that was beside him, obviously his wife or some other, but they are absolute heroes. You know, he put the gun down, put his hand up, tried to let other people know. There's no cops anywhere. There's no fucking blue coats anywhere, mate. Okay. And then the other guy got binged on top of the thing. What amazed me, viewer, I need you to look at I need you to look at what the actual bing was. I need you to pause on your videos and try and enlarge it, right? And you'll see that both of the bings, mate, had the microscope. Look it up, man. Check it, man. And you'll see that both of them had the telescope on the top of the gun, on the top of the bing. When you've got that happening, man, that's a full-on military situation kind of thing going on. Now, they're expected to be in a far-ranging, distance away, and they can take pot shots, and it takes a little bit longer to find out where they are, that kind of thing. But these guys didn't, man. I want to know who they are. I want to know how they got armed. I want to know. Okay, because it doesn't just happen. This doesn't just happen, boys and girls. Two people don't get together and get these kind of military grade stuff and go and do it. And they're itching for a war with the other nations, mate, the Muslim nations. They're itching for it. We both know that. We all know that. Any Muslim viewer will know that I'm telling you the truth. They're itching for a war with these other countries. So they need a reason. They need the backing of the public because we're the ones that pay for it. We're the ones that pay for their wars, mate. Okay? So they need us screaming, we want vengeance. We want vengeance. Now, I cannot agree with any of that. I don't like war. I don't like innocent men, our countrymen, US, Australian, whatever. I don't care. I don't want anybody dying in a freaking war. A useless war. Just more of our young people dying, mate, for no reason. But the politician is happy to send you to war. And the bankers, they're even more happy to send you to war. So they need a reason to get that. You watch, man, I'm not lying to you. The next month, the next 2 months, they'll put it all back on a Muslim country. IRAN. That's what they're aiming for. They're already mentioning it now. They're already saying, they've got association back, we've got mate, it all comes from the Lowry Institute. All of it does. All of their information. So please, man, don't fall into the drama of it. Don't fall into for my channel. I need you to be more, remain in your masculine.
You remain in your masculine. Look at it as in a masculine mindset, not a feminine mindset, where you're dealing with feelings and all of that kind of thing. Yeah, we're not interested in feelings. We're interested in facts and logic. What the fuck is going on with our country?
What is going on? You've got people down the beach enjoying the day,
and two people rock up. Like, it just doesn't seem logical, man.
And do you realise how hard it is to get a GUN here? I'm Australian, mate. I live here. Okay? You can't get a GUN, mate. And you can't get it fully scoped out. Like, that shit is expensive, man. Do you know how much one of those things are here? They're not cheap. Okay? They're not cheap to buy. They're not cheap to get hold of. So who are these boys? Who are these two? They're putting it all back on the religion side of it, boys and girls. Let's not fall into that trap. Even the other Muslim people here that are listening to me, do not fall into their trap. It was a Muslim man that saved people. A Muslim man stepped up, boys and girls, and was a hero. Never forget that. Never ever fucking forget that. Okay. He was willing to hold a gun against another Muslim man in order to stop what the frig was going on. So he's a total hero. Hero. And I wanted to come on to my channel. They want me to go onto YouTube. The boys are sending me messages, I'm not falling into that bollocks, mate. I need you boys to have a better understanding of it all
on my channel. So I need you boys to realise, man, what is going on in our country, in Australia. And I don't understand it myself. I've woken up this morning and we've got two more down, so we've got 12 now. 12 are gone and we've got 25 injured. So you're trying to tell me that two men came there and took 40 odd shots, 40 odd, more than 40 before they were taken down, and one of them was taken down. The other one was disarmed. It seemed like a pretty cowardly. Like they're out there, boys. You understand? They're not hiding. They're out there, man. They're not. There's something that doesn't sit right with Lord Dobby with it, bro. It just doesn't. And I don't want the Muslim people on here that on TikTok to have any kind of fear in Australia. Like that's what they're going to be bridging up on, man. That's what they're going to be, everyone's going to be on double toes, Like they're over there, they're screaming out anti-S, and they're over there screaming out phobia. Okay? So it's not good, brothers. It's not. And you guys need to be reminded that it was a Muslim man that stood back, mate, run up to that bloke, unarmed him, and threw that gun and saved people's lives. Okay? He saved people's lives. While other people stood there filming. Other people stood there running up and down the bridge. Other people stood there just they would run away. Coppers didn't arrive there for ages. They drove past the person. Did you see it in the film? They drove past, man. Coppers in their car drove past the guy on the bridge. Okay? Because they're on their way to the people that got injured or whatever, I don't know. But they didn't go after the guy with the actual thing. A civilian, mate, an old man who owns a fruit shop. He owns a fruit shop, brother. He's the one that rushed forward. He's the one that's got he's got a lovely wife chasing after him saying, don't, no, don't. Be careful, be careful, be careful. You can tell what she's telling him, man. And this man's a fucking hero. Absolute hero. Okay? There's nothing that can be run down on. There's something not right, viewer. Something not right about it all. And then they started their propaganda this morning. They really did. They tried to tie it back to IRAN, the country. This is where it's all come from. This is where they're
You watch, man. You watch the propaganda really come in the next few days. They are going to sell this as the country planned it against us.
the country. That's how they're going to do it, okay? Because they need a reason to go and absolutely annihilate another to keep the war going, mate. Without war, there's no cash turnover. That's how they earn their big money, mate, is war. And that's why they're relentlessly at war.
They don't stop going to war. Because when they go to war, they buy armaments, they buy weapons, they buy all that stuff, mate. And it keeps all of those big companies happy that control these countries. We're controlled by the Black Rocks and by the bankers, and they'll fund both sides of the war, mate. They'll go to Iraq, they'll go to that country and say, "Do you need any help? Can we, can we get you any money? Do you need any loan?" Because they want the bank, mate. There's a bigger picture to everything, and I keep telling my viewers on my stream in YouTube that they are willing to sacrifice as many plebs as is needed in order to install their laws. In order to get their laws through, they will absolutely do whatever they want to do to the pleb. The pleb don't mean anything. They can sacrifice as many plebs as they need to get their laws passed. Okay? Anyway, that's it. I don't ever get anyone in my chat anyway. And as soon as I get more than 5 people, I get reported, and it's ridiculous. But I worked out what it was, viewer. I forgot to block the hammerhead. You have to block him if you look like me and you're a streamer. You have no chance if you don't. The person is relentless and will report you every single time you go on live. Whatever. If they're not on live, I checked, and they're not on live, and I'm getting mass reported. Just mass reported. I think it was 4 times yesterday I got reported and kicked off TikTok. Yeah, they don't like someone that looks like me. Okay, so that's why I put him on the block. I had to put him back on block. There's just no choice. There's no choice, mate, okay? And I'm not going to deal with someone that calls me those words, PEDO. Yeah, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. All right? Yeah, that's it for the lorddobby. You only get one chance, mate, and you talk to me like that, yeah, I'll grab you by the neck. I'll grab, say hello, how you doing? It's real good to see you, how you doing, because we're all friends, all right? Go and visit, have a coffee. Okay, yeah, no problem, man. But I'm never down in your. I don't go to that neck of the woods, mate. I'm Victorian. I live in Melbourne, so But I'm not going to deal with that again. Yeah. You are who you hang out with, brothers. If you spend time with that, that's who you become. You start to relate to it. You start to think it's okay.
You start to think it's acceptable to talk this way or whatever, be this way, and it's not. It's not. Okay. What's wrong with Pete? I don't even know what's going on, Pete. What's happening, Pete? Something's.
I don't know, mate. They seem pretty worried about you.
I don't know. I just come on here to say that to the Muslim people on here. All right? It was one of yours that saved the day. Okay? You saved the day. Any way you want to look at it, mate, total hero. Absolute friggin' hero. The Muslim man that came forward, that saved people's lives. Was an old man, fruit shop owner. He's the one that stepped up. He's the one that went forward. He's the one that rushed in. Apparently he's got shot twice. which I can't see in the film. He's not bleeding in the capture. So are you trying to tell me the other guy on the bridge has got 2 shots into him? That's incredible. He's, how much of a hero is he? How much of a fucking hero is this old guy? Fuck, he deserves the key to the city, man. Okay? You know, this guy saved lives, bro. This guy saved lives. Do you understand? There would have been more people that died, more people that were injured, man, if that guy hadn't stepped forward. And he's a Muslim man. You need to get that into your head, streamers. You need to get that into your head, the Lebanese Muslims that are on here. It was a Muslim man that saved people's lives. Any way you want to look at it, I don't fucking care, man. It was a fruit shop owner who stepped forward, mate, and took the weapon off another Muslim man and pointed the weapon at him. He's not fucking putting up with you, buddy. Okay? He's not putting up with you. So you need to be proud of him. You need to be proud of him, man. You need to be proud of him. Okay? I know I talk a lot of shit. Okay? I know I say things, right? But yeah, I give credit where credit's due. I fucking do, mate. I give a full credit to that. That guy, that Muslim man that's why I say he's Muslim, right? Because these people are apparently, you know, doing the Hanukkah thing, right? They're apparently right. And, you know, if it was the way, if it was the way that we are thinking, then he wouldn't have done anything. He would have recognised what it was, right? And wouldn't have done anything. And you've got Australian people looking like me, running scared, mate. Running scared. Would go up onto the bridge, take a few steps and have a look, you know, and then run away again. You know, run away again. You know, it wasn't any of us that fucking saved the day. You know, like that guy was doing the bing bing, mate. He was pretty adamant, you got to admit. Like, he's bing, 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 bing. Is that where the festival is? In the direction he's thinking, that's where right? But he's got a telescope on his thing. They both got telescopes. So why did they take that avenue? Why did they just go to a public thing in a park instead of, you know, going to a building or, you know, whatever, however they use those kind of things? And they would have been a bit more safer. They may have got away with it. They may have been able to just do 10 bings and got into their car and driven away. You know what I mean? Why didn't they use that telescopic thing? You know, they both had it on there, on the bing bings, mate. That puzzles me. Like, that puzzles me, okay? Because, you know, that takes certain preparation. Like, you know, like, you've got to have the idea that you're going to use it, right? And if you weren't going to use it, you would take it off. Because it would be easier to use the gun without it if you're not going to use it, right? So why is it attached and they didn't use it? They went down onto a public area and there's no, and honestly, man, when you think about it, like, let's have a logical thing here. They always yell out that one thing, right? They always yell it out, right? You know, the God is great thing. They always yell it out. They're you know, in Melbourne here, they drove through the mall and they're hanging out the windows, yelling out, you know, Allah fucking rah rah, right? Out the windows, okay? These guys didn't. They didn't have any, they just looked like me and you dressed. And they've put it all back to IRAN, the country. They're trying to say the country planned the attack. The country. Are you getting it? They're not putting it back on just dissident or whatever in Australia, unhappy people, rah, rah, whatever. No, they are tying it directly back to that country. Okay? And that's within the first day. Like, I heard that this morning, mate. I heard that this morning. They're tying it back to that. How the fuck do they know all that? How the fuck do they, you know what I'm saying? How can they tie it back directly to that country straight away so quickly? You know, they did it to us. They planned it all. They wanted to cause harm here, rah, rah, rah. Now we need to go over there. That'll be their next thing. They'll be telling us that we need to go there and do WAR. Okay? So I'm hoping that the Muslim people on here speak up a little bit. okay? And because you guys need to be proud. I mean, I understand who did it. I understand all of that. But, mate, let's celebrate the hero, okay? Let's celebrate the man that stepped forward and tackled that fucking bloke down, took the weapon from him, aimed it at him, mate, because he's got absolute chongers, mate. He's got steel chongers, okay? All right? Because there was a lot of people that ran past. A lot of people that did nothing but film, mate. From all different angles, they filmed. Thousands of people running away. Thousands of these brave people here running away. Nobody's trying to do shit. And then one old man steps forward, man. One old man steps forward and sees the chance, sees the opportunity, and grabs him and throws him down. And when he did that, he realised what he was looking at. He knew where the person came from. He knew what the fucking, but it didn't matter. Because he's Australian, right? He's Australian, brother. You know, he's been here a long, long, long time. His family's here. Everything's here. This is the kind of Muslim man that we love. This is the kind of hero that every country fucking needs and needs to celebrate him.
So the Muslim community should be proud. I understand, everything else,
but you need to be proud of this man. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him enough to come onto my channel, Lord Dobby channel, mate, and say this Muslim man is a fucking hero. He took 2 shots. How many would have you taken? Yeah, how many were watching at Bondi Beach filming, man? How many of you cowards were standing there at the bottom of that bridge and ran? How many of you cowards just popped your head up? I watched you all, bros. I watched you, man. You didn't do shit. You didn't do nothing. 3 of you could have rushed that guy in the fuck on top of that thing, man, and ended that shit real quick. I mean, yeah, but you would have saved people's lives. The only person that saved anybody was an old man, a 70-year-old fruit seller who's been here in Australia forever. His family have been here. He's a Muslim man, loves Australia. And he's the one that's ran forward. He is the one that grabbed the gunman. He is the one that threw him down. Not no cowards, man. Not no cowards, bro. You know, he wasn't afraid of the gun, man. He wasn't afraid of the fucking danger of what he was going to put his life into, man. He risked his fucking life, mate, to save other people. He is a fucking hero. A hero. So I'm hoping that, I spread the word on my channel because of how I am normally. Because I'm not, you know how I am. I'm not, I'm not for that at all, right? But I will give credit where credit is fucking due, brothers and sisters. Where credit is due. And it is due. It's due. So you need to be proud of this man. Muslim people on TikTok, Muslim people on streaming and whatever, you need to be proud of the man. Because it was a Muslim man that stepped up and slammed that shit to the ground and stopped it. It was a Muslim man that did that. So I'm very proud, and I hope that his family's very proud of him. I know the fucking whole country's proud of him. This kind of negates all of their, they're saying that they're, it just negates a lot of the shit, man. Like, fuck, what can I say? I'm still going to talk about the brides and night. I'm still going to talk about all of that. But credit where credit is due, man. Credit where credit is due. This Muslim man, 70 years old, is a fucking hero and deserves all credits given to him. Deserves, he saved lives. He saved lives. Now let's see if the Jewish community recognises what he did for them. Let's see if they give any kind of credit at all, except calling it anti-S and anti-S. It's anti-S. Okay? You know what I mean? Because he didn't do anything. He's innocent. He's a fucking hero. So he deserves the credit from them also. Yeah. So I hope that he has a good recovery in hospital. I hope he's got his family around him. I hope he's okay. And I hope he pulls through and he's got 2 shots into him. What a fucking hero. You know, he didn't receive those shots, man, when he went up to that guy. You can see the film yourself. He was uninjured. He got the bing bing off the guy, pointed it at the guy, then put it down by the tree. So where did he cop these shots? And then you see the guy on the bridge. You see the guy on the bridge trying to actually bing him, protecting his friend. That's what I seen. So no, mate, I mean, an incredible man. I don't know how he held himself back. I mean, I really don't. Personally, I think me and you would have just went bang. As soon as you got his weapon, as soon as you got it off him, bang. Bang. And now that you're armed, fucking, and someone's taking pot shots at you, mate, I don't know. I don't know if the Anzac would come out of you. But it didn't look like any of them have got any Anzac spirit that were at that fucking place at all. No one's got any Anzac spirit. It's been beaten out of you. Yeah. Mate, all I seen was a lot of us plebs running. I didn't see any plebs helping or doing anything to stop that person on the bridge. I seen a lot of yous running. I seen a lot of yous jeering. I seen a lot of yous filming. Everybody's filming from every angle, and you're watching a guy taking pot shots, and you don't do shit. Like there's how many there at the bottom of the bridge? 5 people, 6 people. You could have just rushed the guy. You could have just waited for him to be turning his thing, taking his bing bing, and then running. And yeah, hey, one of yous might have got injured or whatever, but it would have ended the whole thing. You know, but nobody did. Nobody stepped forward. Nobody. You know, it took a cop from, from fucking all the way over there, hiding behind a tree, to get the guy bebinged. Okay, that's what it took, bro. But apparently 2 officers got done too, mate. 2 things got mate. This guy was pot shotting everybody. He didn't care. He was just pot shotting everybody. Okay, but generally when something like that happens, they generally will say it out loud, like they yell that out, right? The Allah Akbar, they yell it all out, mate, to make sure that it's tied to what they're doing. These guys didn't. They just stood there just bebinging. And it leaves a little. There's not enough. Something's not right, boys. Something's not right. So maybe as the Muslim community, you can do some investigating and find out about these 2 guys. Where did they come from? Where, what, why, where, when, how? Where did they get the bebing from? And you'll find that it gets tied back to certain people. You watch, man, over maybe the next month, the information will come out. But they're already tying it back to MOSSAD, mate. They're already tying it back there because that's where all of your information's coming from. As soon as it happened, the Lowry Institute came out and made a statement, and that's what the government's relying on, the Lowry Institute. Look it up. So all of their information is coming from Ishmael. All of their information, mate, all of their accusations, everything they're going to tell you is from Ishmael. It's going to come from Ishmael. You understand? And then they're going to want you to go and BOMBIRAN. That's what they want. They want the WAR. Okay, that's next on their list. The WAR with those people. A nation that has never invaded anybody. A nation that's never gone to war with anybody in its entire existence. A nation that's been self-reliant and is, I don't believe, is anything of what we're told. I don't believe anything that we are told on our Western media viewer, because when you go over to the country itself, it doesn't match what you've been told. It doesn't match it. That's like, when I woke up when I went to China. That's when I woke up, okay, because I realised that a lot of the shit that I'd been told was absolute bollocks. Was absolute bollocks, mate. Absolute just lies. And that's when I really twigged. Like I really, really did. Do you know, mate, no offence or anything, no offence, okay? But do you know they live freer than what we do? And you wouldn't think that, right? But I can swear to you on a Bible that we have more laws here than they do in fucking China. Okay? You've got no idea how communist our government are, mate, that portray that how liberal they are and how democratic they are, and everything is rigged, man. You know, these people win an election with 33% of the vote counted. 33%. And then they don't count another vote. I've got enough votes to win, so there's no need to count any more votes. You see how it works, man? It's all a big con job. It's all a big game, okay? So no, I believe there's a bigger picture to it all. It's very, very sad. You've got 12 down. You've got 25 or 26 people injured. So these people had enough time to, you know, bebing 40 times. Enough time to bebing 40 times. Mate, I swear to you, on a Bible, if me and you, or if you were to have a bing bing and walk down the street, mate, to the park, it would be surrounded in fucking minutes. Helicopters, SWAT team, fucking, they'd have the horses down there within minutes. Now this happens and these guys have got free reign for how long? How long? 10 minutes? I seen cop cars, did you see it on the film, drive past the people on the bridge. While the guy is bebinging, the cop car drives past. It fucking drove past, man. It drove past. Okay? It's, you know, like, that's insane. You know, there were people pointing at the guy on the bridge. They were pointing at him and they drove past. Okay? So I don't know what the picture is here. I don't know what the full bigger thing is. But I believe it's going to be like a class war. They're trying to set two different ideologies on the, you know, against each other. The government will come full whack. You watch, boys, because Ishmael's the one that pays the bills. Ishmael does. So they're going to come out with a whole new range of laws, a whole, you know, I've got no idea what they have the intentions of, but they're going to have a whole new whack of laws, okay, that are going to come out. There's a bigger picture involved. Okay, now you have to remember, while you're in your grief and you're in your thing, that they don't care about you. You are nothing but a pleb to them, an instrument. And if they need to sacrifice 20 of you, 20 of me to get in order to bring in their law, in order to bring in what they want, their paradigm, they are more than willing to do that. We mean nothing to them. Okay? I mean, you've got a huge thing in Australia right now. You know, the public have woken up to the expenses of the politicians. And it's all over the internet. It's all over the news. It's all over the public, you know, screaming about these politicians all at the trough. Because they don't pay for anything. Nothing. Everything is marked down to the taxpayer. And they can do it on family allowance. I didn't even know about this rort. I had no idea. But that's been going on since time immemorial. So they can just charge everything to the family allowance. And they don't pay for anything. Nothing. Even groceries can get paid for with the family allowance. You know, a taxi, an Uber, whatever, hire a private plane for a 90-minute trip, family allowance. There is one minister in Australia that has spent $650,000, mate, on family allowance. Okay? $650,000 just for this 1 year. That's one minister. Do you honestly think he gives a shit about any pleb that's out there earning $28 an hour or $33 an hour for an afternoon shift? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He wouldn't care about you until he needs your vote, and then he would go around shaking your hand. And then you won't see him again for another 3 years. But I'm telling you, man, I just wanted to let the other streamers on here know, because we have a lot of Muslim people on here, Lebanese Muslim people on streaming on TikTok. You guys need to be proud. You know, that man was a Muslim man who saved lives, man. Oh, yesterday, sorry. Saved lives. Many other people would have been killed and injured if it wasn't for that Muslim man coming forward, bro, and tackling him down and helping people. That saved lives. It saved injuries. It saved lives. And you guys need to be proud of him. I'm proud of him as an Australian. I'm thankful for him, man, that he stood up and went for it, man. He just went for it. You know, he risked his own life. And then not only that, after he's disarmed the guy on the bridge is trying to knock him off. The guy on the bridge got him twice. That's how he got shot twice. The guy on the bridge tried to wipe him out. So what a freaking hero. Like, what an absolute hero. Like, seriously, man. Like, credit where credit is due. That Muslim man is a freaking hero. Okay? So you guys need to emphasize that more with your viewer, rather than trying to explain what the hell is going on with your fellow compatriots, because it's not good. It's not good, viewer. This will bring in a lot of new laws. It may change the immigration laws. I'm serious, man. It may change a lot of laws, including immigration. They will not allow the men, brother. They may do a Donald Trump on it. They may go through all the things, mate, and start kicking people out and taking their thing off them, and it may completely. They may have a whole new range of laws that they need to install. And I've seen it happen in my life. I'm old, mate, and I've seen it happen many, many times. How they will get an event, make it happen, and then they are the ones that come forward as the hero. And then coming forward is a whole bunch of laws, a whole bunch of new laws. That's all they can do is give more laws. So there's a bigger picture to it all, viewer. But that man is a hero. He's an absolute hero. Okay, that Muslim man, a hero. Gets beaten twice, and what a fucking hero. Trying to kill him. He's shooting at him. Held his rah. Conscious, I've got enough. Still that he just okay, but he did pull the trigger. He didn't pull the trigger. He still didn't want himself. Yeah, man, what a human. That's an amazing man. An amazing man. His whole family needs to be really proud of him, man. Like you guys need to be proud of him. You guys need to find out who he is, where he is. You need to have pictures of him on your stream. If you're a Muslim man on here streaming, you need to fucking celebrate this man, because if he didn't, there would be more deaths. There would be more injuries. He's a hero. He's a total, utter hero. Okay? And I thought I would come on and say that as Lord Dobby. Because Lord Dobby talks a lot of shit. Lord Dobby says a lot of things, during the year. He he's a freaking horrible bloke, right? He's terrible, right? And I agree with you. He is. But Lord Dobby will give credit where credit is due. Absolutely. And he will be the first one to go there and buy flowers and say to the guy, fucking, mate, thank you, Yeah. I'd be one of those guys, mate. Credit where credit's due, bro. He risked his life in order to save others. And to me, that is a hero.
And then,
He gets nailed twice, man, by the Babin. Gets nailed twice. No, mate, absolute hero. I really hope that, something is for him in the future. Like, God blesses him. Your God. Allah.
Allah, yeah, here's the hero, an absolute fucking hero. And it guts me because we had a lot of come in there. They did nothing. They came from every angle, and then they stood behind the wall at the bridge. And how many men were there? 5, 6 men. How many men?
5, 6. And no one did anything. No one did anything, man.
On the other side of the bridge, did you notice on the other side where the Babing, where it was happening, there's a guy on the stairs, and he's too scared to run up the thing, and like he's watching the guy babing, and he doesn't rush the guy. Okay, he took a 70-year-old fruit seller, 70-year-old fruit seller, mate, because he's seen shit. He's had things. He's not afraid of a guy with a GUN. He's not afraid. He's willing to do it in order to help others, to save others. He's in life in order to do that. So in my hero, in my Australian, our Australian culture, he's like fucking Anzac. Okay. Full honours need to be given to him. I'm telling you, boys, as an old man, full honours need to be given to this Muslim man. Okay? Like the Medal of Valor or some fucking shit like that. Because he rescued people, man. He saved people on that day. Like, I couldn't believe him, man. Like, when I was watching the guy. What a fucking hero. Like, look at this guy. He's fucking Superman. He's fucking Superman. And he's not backing off. He puts the GUN down and fucking chases after the guy, man. He fucking chases after the guy. He picks up a fucking rock and starts fucking chasing the guy, man. And then the camera goes to the guy on the bridge, and you can see the guy on the bridge taking shots at him. You can see him taking shots at him, man. And he still didn't go and pick up the GUN and try and get the guy on the... No! He just wanted to chase away that guy and take his weapon off him and run. What a fucking hero! Like, I've never seen that before, man, outside of war. I've never seen that outside of war, okay? So, an amazing man. And you guys there's a lot of streamers on here that are Lebanese, Muslim people. The Hammers of the world and all of that, mate. You guys need to be proud of this man. You need to be on your live stream with a picture of him. I don't know if I'm just talking as a Westerner. I don't know if you do that or not. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I would say, because that you need to make sure that people realise that this guy's a total hero. This guy's a Muslim man who stepped forward to save Jewish lives. Apparently it's a Hanukkah festival. So, okay, he saved Jewish lives. Okay? And he's a Muslim man. And he risked his own life in order to save these Jewish lives, right? So when they're saying it's you're anti-S and anti-S and anti-S, hang on a minute, buddy. One of our own stepped forward, risked his own life in order to take him down to save your people. So I don't think we're that much of an enemy. Okay, I like personally, I don't, but they will try and hammer it that way. They'll try and completely hammer it. Anti-S, anti-S, anti-S. Okay, because really in the bigger picture, you'll see that the dialogue will change. Over the next 2 weeks or so, you'll see the dialogue will change in the news. It's already changing today. They tried to say that they were radicalised by IRAN, the country, okay, mentioned by the country on the news, and that's only one day after. So give it another week,
Give it another week of the propaganda. Give it another week of the media, and you watch, man, how they'll turn it around to blame that country. Okay, we need to go over there, and because look what they did. So we need now to go over there and take away. You watch the propaganda. So this whole thing is an order for us and the US and whatever to now invade this country based on what's happened here, and you know what I mean. That's what because they think of a bigger picture, viewer. Me and you are plebs, mate. We think of what's going on in front of us. They think of a bigger picture, a bigger thing. What can we steer this to? I think that saying came with 9/11. You can't let a good opportunity go to waste. Remember that? Back in 9/11? You can't let a good opportunity go to waste. And that is how the politician looks at it. That is how the billionaire class looks at it. That is how the elites look at it. Because we're plebs. You got to remember that. We're plebs. And we don't see things that they do. We don't have, because they got the plans, brother. They got the bigger plan, right? Yeah, man, he had another gun, another GUN on the ground, mate. Thank you for reminding me. On the bridge itself, mate. The guy's got a babing, he's got it. But look on the ground, man. There's another assault rifle or something there on the ground. So they came armed. And they didn't come with a normal thing, man. They came with a full telescopic thing. On the top, telescopic, right? So the gun was made for distance. It's made to take the pot shots, the distance, right? It's not, these guys didn't do that. They went out in direct public at a park and start babinging, and over 40 shots. Over 40 shots. Okay, so they've got plenty of time, mate. They've had, like this, mate, I seen cop cars driving past, man. The guy on the bridge, right, is doing his thing, and there are cop cars with the sirens going past the fucking bridge, mate. There was a guy with a white t-shirt on, and he's pointing to the guy on the bridge. He's pointing to the guy. He's trying to point him out. And the cops are just drove straight past. So that Muslim man's a hero. I don't know if I've said it enough, and I don't know if the Muslim people that hear my channel or whatever, because I know I say things about the Muslim people, all right? I fucking know that, okay? But mate, credit is due. Simple as that, mate. Credit is credit where it's due. It needs to be. It is due. It is fucking credit needed. And that Muslim man is an absolute freaking hero, and he should have there should be some kind of thing for him, and we need to be very, very thankful. And I'm saying that as who I am, looking like this. Let's see if the anti-S screamers come out in any way and thank this Muslim man. Let's see if they come out and thank him, man, for saving lives. Let's see if they come out and say anything, because I don't think they will. Yeah? They're happy to point the finger. They're happy to go, that country did it, that country planned it, we need to go over there and rah. But they won't point out the Muslim man that actually saved lives on that day. You watch. Let's see if he gets celebrated. Let's see if he gets thanked. Let's see in the next month or so when he's out of hospital. Let's see what kind of reward they would give a hero in Australia. Because, he needs to be thanked, man. Like front page fucking thing, a true hero. I don't know what the newspaper looks like today. I really don't. And I haven't been on the news. I don't have the TV on, you can tell. The TV's fucking always turned off in this house, mate. All right, I very rarely put the TV on. I watch James Bond movies and go to bed, okay? So, what now? What are you reporting me now? What for? What are you reporting me for? I haven't done anything wrong. I don't know what you reported me for. I haven't done anything wrong, and I've got an agency. Okay, so if I say something wrong, fair enough. Okay, but if I don't say anything, I just, mate, the Muslim man is a total hero. I don't know if you're hearing me correctly. Like I'm saying, like I'm proud of you, of the Muslim man in Australia. Okay, it's made me, realise that they're not, maybe I'm a little bit. But that guy's a hero, and I'm happy to scream it out as Lord Dobby, okay? Who's, if you know me at all, you know that I wouldn't generally do that. But mate, hero is hero, man. Hero is hero. Credit is credit where it's due. He is an absolute utter hero. He took 2 shots, mate. He got the bing off the person, and saved lives. He saved Jewish lives. Let's see if the Jewish community thanked this man in any way. Let's see if they even recognise what he did for them on that day. Instead of just blaming and coming out and blaming and that's what they're screaming about. They're screaming anti-S. And they're screaming that this country's responsible and they planned it and they wanted to harm us and do all this to us. So we need to go over there and, take care of business, so to speak. And that's been on the cards for fucking years. They've been trying to get WAR with that particular country for fucking years, mate. Okay? So they've got to come up with a good one to get in there. They've got to have a good reason for the Western civilization, me and you, the pleb, to scream, we need to go and take care of them, we need to go and do this, and we need to go and do that over there. You know what they're going to do, man? WAR on Iran. That's what they're screaming, okay? And that will be the end result of all of this. Give it another month, give it another 2 or 3 weeks, and that's what the propaganda will go into, man. That's what it'll be about. Yeah, but I can get into trouble for what you say. I can get into trouble for what you say, Angus. It's not as simple as what you might think. They make me responsible for whatever you say. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why. Okay, that's why I'm a little bit hesitant on because it's happened to me in the past. Yeah, they blame me. They say that I allowed the conversation. I allowed it, right? So that's why I spell things. In case you haven't noticed, I don't say the things out loud. I'm because they can get you on that also. Okay, so that's why I talk the way I do sometimes. But mate, if you're a Muslim man, you need to be proud. You need to, that's why I'm on TikTok and not on my YouTube channel, because we have a lot of Lebanese Muslim people here. We have a lot of Muslim viewers. We have a lot of Muslim people watching on TikTok. And I need you guys to understand that do not fall into the full-on propaganda, full-on whatever is they're going to be telling you on the news. You need to remember that it was a Muslim man that came forward and saved Jewish lives on that day. He is a fucking hero. And it's as simple as that. Credit needs to be credit where credit is due. And there is nothing that you can tell me that is going to change that. Like he definitely saved Jewish people's lives. And that's what needs to be emphasised. Okay, we've got a couple of rat bags over here. We've got a couple of crazy ones over here. Yep, okay, we're sorry about that. But that ain't all of us. It ain't all. You see, they can't blame all of you anymore. I can't look at you and go, rah, 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 rah. I can't. It was one of your fucking people, mate, that saved the day. Do you not understand that? Are you getting that in your fucking head, mate? That it was a Muslim man that saved people's lives on that day. Okay? He's a fucking hero. And and if that person, when you say that, doesn't say, yes, I agree with you, then that person, mate, is fucking, you don't want anything to do with. Because credit needs to be credit is given, mate. And it wasn't an Australian man Okay, come on, man. I'm so unproud of my own people, man. I'm so fucking unhappy with my own people, my own fucking people that look like me. Okay, the ones that stood at the bottom of the bridge, the ones that just stood there, the ones that went a couple of steps up, and when the guy turned around, they ran back down the fucking bridge again. I'm screaming at him at the TV, go for it, run, go for it. How many are there? 3, 4, 5 men there? You've got 5 fucking men there, and none of yous rush him. You've got another 2 people over the other side of the bridge, man, watching the guy, and no one rushes him. You've got another guy down on the tree, man. Did you see the young guy walking across the fucking grass behind there, man? Look what he did. He fucking ran. He ran. You've got an old man tackling this fucking guy, right? And the other guy ran across the grass. He didn't come towards the help. Man, okay, you know, and he's a freaking hero. So any streamers on here, any Lebanese Muslim people that can hear me, any Muslim people that hear my voice on the Lord Dobby channel today, mate, he's a freaking hero. And there's no way you can deny him his credit due. Because, mate, if you don't, many other people could have been injured or possibly killed. Many others. You know, he stopped that person from just, you know, to me, he looked like he was just randomly pot-shotting, randomly. And and to me, I'm looking at it thinking, you know, the guy's got a telescopic GUN. Did you realise that? Did you see that on both of them? Both of them have got telescopic GUN. Telescopic. So they don't need to be up close. And they can take their time a little bit. Yeah? Because it's a snipe thing, man. They snipe, you know? And they still got over 40 shots. Over 40 shots was fucking done, boys. That's a hell of a lot of shots. That's a hell of a lot of time. That's a lot of fucking, you know, a lot of standing there, bang, 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 one after, trying to, mate, 12 people are down. 2 coppers, including 2 cops. Over 24 people have been injured, mate. Do you understand? 24 people got fucking hit. And who stood up? You know, who did it, mate? A 70-year-old fruiterer. A Muslim man. He stood up against the other Muslim man and took the fucking GUN off him, aimed it at him, and then realised, I don't want to be a killer. I know that you did what you're doing. I know what you're doing, but I'm not a killer. Me personally. No. Me, I was looking at screaming, just shoot him. Just fucking ba-bing, mate. What are you hesitating for? You can't take the chance that he's come rushing at you. You're an old man. You see, but we live in Australia. And if he had done that, he would have been charged. Isn't that amazing, viewer? Isn't that amazing that if he had actually binged the shooter, he would be the one on charges? He would be. Isn't that amazing, our law? So that definitely made him hesitate, mate, okay, to take the shot. Where you've got 2 of these people here, mate, they don't hesitate. They don't hesitate. They don't follow any law. They don't worry about, you know, what the consequences of what they're doing. They just ba-bing, 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 ba-bing. I'm sitting there stunned, mate, watching this shit on TV. I haven't got it turned back on, mate, because it's copyright. And they get me for copyright, okay, on the YouTube channel and on here. As soon as the voice is on the thing, man, they get me for copyright, okay? So, and I'm not really good at making. So I just thought I'd come on my channel for a little while, man, and just tell the Muslim people that are on TikTok, listen, man, you have got to realise what, you know, this guy did, and thank him in your stream, celebrate this Muslim man, and hopefully you can give him some credit and, you know, turn the situation around a little bit, because this Muslim man saved Jewish people's lives. It doesn't matter how they spin it. There's no way they can spin it, because it's facts. It's facts, man. Okay, the Jewish man, he saved lives. He saved their lives on yesterday. So I don't know how many more would have been, hurt or injured, man.
I don't do overtime. I don't do overtime.
I've never done overtime. I don't recommend overtime. Your boss will work you overtime every day.
Like every fucking day of the week, he'll give you overtime. Like the boss don't give a shit, mate, except about the profit margin.
But yeah, working overtime just bumps you up into the next tax bracket. And that's no fucking good. And then they charge, what is it, over 50%, mate, on your overtime is over 50% tax. So, I talked to my friends about it because they were busting their nut to do the Saturday morning, and they were paying, $160 tax to work on that day. And it makes me sick. It makes me feel ill that these politicians and these businesses will grind and grind and grind us plebs, mate, to the ground in order to get that maximum profit. And they don't give a shit, mate. A politician's on, $7,000 a week plus everything paid. All expenses paid. He can go to the fancy restaurants and he can fly his family out to the football game and he can take a private jet to fucking wherever he needs to go. He can spend $100,000 on a fucking holiday to fucking some country, bro. And it's all family allowance, okay? So they don't live the same kind of life there, or we would, or whatever. Yeah, you're a fucking, I don't care, man, it doesn't matter. There you go, buddy. So I hope they don't make you work overtime, Mr. Cake. That won't work, Leroy. It just won't work. That's correct, Jay. Yeah, my birthday's on the 23rd of January, man. Yeah, happy birthday, mate, if we don't see each other. Happy birthday, mate. I agree. He wouldn't have to save them if they weren't shooting in the first place. Yeah, I agree. There's no defence, man. I've got no defence for that part of it at all. None at all, Samurai. None. I'm just saying, man, that it was that person that stopped them. It was that person that saved lives. So a bit of credit where credit is due. But this is not going to be good. I'm sorry, man, it's just not. I don't know what kind of new laws they're going to bring in, or immigration laws or whatever, but they need to, it's not going to be good. It's really not. So I don't know what kind of escalation we're going to get after this, or if there's not going to be any. I sit in a quiet, peaceful environment, just awaiting the fucking, awaiting it just to see where it goes. I'm a little bit. It's right before Christmas. Yeah, it's not good. It's not looking good. Yeah. They already hate Christmas. They fucking hate Christmas. Okay, they hate Christmas.
They hate the fucking Easter Bunny, Father's Day, Mother's Day, fucking any other fucking anything that's not their own thing, man. That's the only thing that's allowed. That's it. That's the only celebration allowed, is that one particular thing, and then that's it. Everything else will get cancelled. Everything. And, they don't like Santa. They hate the big red fella. They hate that fat cunt, mate. They hate him, okay? They hate that fat bloke, bro. So, yeah, but who knows what'll happen down the track, mate. That's all. I just wanted to give a little bit of credit where credit is due, that it was a Muslim man that saved the day on that big thing in Bondi. He is the one that ran forward. He is the one that disarmed that person. The rest of it I have no defence for. None. No, I'm not offering any. I'm just talking about the old man. Okay, that's it. Thank God that he was there. Thank God that he ran forward and tackled the bloke and took the fucking chance, mate. And after that, he got babing twice. He took 2 bullets, man. He took 2 bullets, bro.
Okay, that's a pretty brave man. Would you have done that? Would you have run forward and taken 2 bullets, man, under fire? He disarmed the guy while he was under fire from the guy on the bridge. The guy on the bridge was trying to fucking bing him in order to protect his friend. So under fire, he did that. So, I'm old, man. I'm Australian. And that kind of goes back to the Anzac thing. Okay, where you are under fire and you're there. Mate, he's a hero. He's a hero. There's no two ways of putting it. That particular man, what he did saved lives. It saved people from being injured. It took a weapon out of the thing. It disarmed him. No, mate, what you can't deny. You can't. I'm pretty proud of him as an Australian. I'm pretty proud of him that it was actually, he stepped up, man. He stepped forward. He a fucking man exists. A real man. Not some of these fucking half-pie fucking baked faggots at the bottom of the fucking step sitting there looking over the thing, and then ducking down and running. No, mate, we've got an entire generation of fucking woke libtards, bro, that are running away from everything. It took a 70-year-old that's been through shit. It took a 70-year-old to come running forward and tackling him, mate, to get that weapon off him, bro, to save people's lives. Okay? Not a bunch of fucking white liberal fucking fag blokes running fucking at the bottom of the bridge, mate, yeah?